What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're here to do the 700-hour Dreaming Spanish update. For those who don't know, I am running a series, and as required with every new video that I drop in the series, I need to tell you what I'm doing. Basically, I am trying to learn Spanish completely through watching content. That means no subtitles, no grammar study, no looking up words, just watching appropriate level content. That's pretty much it. It's all part of a test for the ALG methodology. And as I said, here is the complete series. So please don't go down in the comment section below and say, Evildea, you should be looking up words. You'll be making better progress. I know what I should be doing, but I am doing a test. Okay, so let's begin. As you can see, over the last month or so, I've roughly done 1 to 2 hours, maybe 3 hours a day per day. It's really dependent on my mood on that particular day and whether I'm busy with work or whatnot. So for example, at the beginning of this month, I was on holiday, but I was actually doing, I guess, less because I was with family and I was spending more time with them. But I'm also going to answer a few questions because I always get questions in the comment sections from my previous videos and I want to make sure that I answer them as much as I can. Now, I've been taking notes, okay? See, I came prepared this time. So what was the first question I got? Oh, well, not a question, a recommendation, okay? And I don't think this is a good idea. Now, what's the point of ALG? It is to basically learn the language via input, okay? And therefore acquire the language and acquire it in the most natural way possible and therefore eventually speak as if you sound like a native. That's the whole idea behind ALG. Now, in my previous video, I had a bunch of comments from people saying, Evildea, what you should be doing is watching content from multiple different people on Dreaming Spanish, not just Agustina, but also, you know, other creators on there because I've been focusing on her content along with Spanish Boost Gaming. Now, this I actually think is a bad recommendation because if we are to take this idea of ALG to its extreme of, you know, we're trying to acquire the language like a native does, even though this is not what a native does, but like, let's just play ball with me for a second, okay, guys? If we're like doing that, would it not make more sense then to focus on one accent? Because when you're growing up as a child, right? Yeah, you may be in a metropolitan city surrounded by lots of different people. But when people talk about accents, they talk about more the known accent of that country. So if I start watching content from a bunch of different people, say from Mexico, from Spain, from freaking Africa, you know, then down in Argentina as well, I'm going to come out with something that sounds a little bit weird. And then people at the end of this are going to be like, wow, doesn't sound very native to me. He failed the challenge, or the challenge doesn't work. It's literally impossible. Either or, it doesn't matter. So to me, it makes more logical sense. If I am to do this appropriately, I should focus on content creators from specific countries only, those countries for which I want to develop an accent. So to those who are saying I should be watching content from, you know, both Spain and also Mexico, no, that doesn't fit with the whole plan of what I'm trying to do. Well, at least what I'm trying to do within the confines of ALG. Okay, so the next one. This one was not a recommendation, okay? This one's actually something kind of crazy that happened to me. So, the problem with this method, okay, is that you can hear a word so many times, you recognize the word over and over and over as soon as you hear it, but you have no idea what it means. Because every time you hear it in a different context, you can totally pick up the word. And a word for me that fit into this context was Commodore, okay? Or I think that's how it's pronounced. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I would hear this word all the bloody time. I've literally, I remember first hearing this word back at like 300 hours, and I'm at 700 hours now, and I only just recently think I figured out what it means, like Commodore, or something like that, okay? I think it means like comfortable. I think. But there was a long time where I thought it meant different things. I thought it meant strange, or then not strange, and then random different things just depending on the conversations it was being dropped within. It got so bad, like 2 weeks ago, I literally woke up in the middle of the night and I wrote this down, okay? I hope you guys are ready for this. This is what I wrote down at 3 a.m. after waking up from a fucking horror dream, okay? Are you guys ready? Okay, so in my dream, this is what I wrote, okay? So, I'm in a classroom. The teacher at the front of the class is trying to teach me Spanish. He keeps repeating the words, nunca en Commodore, or something along those lines. And I keep reaching for my dictionary. I have a dictionary that's sitting on my table. I reach for it, but every time I do, the teacher hits me with their ruler and says, no dictionary, nunca en Commodore. And I'm like, what does it mean? As I'm stressing out over this, you know how dreams just randomly change? Next thing I know, I'm walking through the school, and it's like okay, so I have to explain this to give you guys a visualization. You guys seen the game Alien, where you gotta hide in cupboards and shit from the alien? Well, the teacher has become the alien, and it's crawling around the corridors of the school, saying, "Nunca incómodo, nunca incómodo," and I'm hiding literally in cupboards as it whispers and walks by type of thing, and then at that point I woke up. So it never actually got me, whatever this thing is, but I think it means never in comfort. I think, because after having this dream, I was hyper-focused on every time I heard this word, and my brain is trying to figure it out. I think it means comfort. You know it's bad when you start having fucking horror dreams due to a method, okay? Next one was a bunch of people recommended I go back and watch beginner videos. I tried doing it, but guys, they're just too simple, okay? Let me just knock this stuff out. And then others are like, oh no, you gotta stick to the intermediates. So, okay, we're gonna go to the intermediates. And then obviously I'm sticking to my specific guide, you know, the Argentinian accent one, okay? ChatGPT pulled me through college. Okay, I guess we'll be using that as a test in this one. Oh yes, and people wanted me to also use the difficulty level so they could see, you know, how well I do at different levels. Now, obviously I'm going to hide what I've watched, and I guess we're just going to pick something random at different levels, and then we'll just see how far I can actually go. So, let's begin.
Lo más
para que cuidemos de nuestra salud, de un aspecto en concreto
Okay, so she was saying, you know, being careful about our health.
de nuestra salud.
Ay, es difícil.
Yes, it's difficult.
Te voy a dar una pista porque si no creo que va a ser muy difícil.
Okay, so she's saying, so I want to, I think, give a hint, so that's not too difficult.
Te voy a hacer una pregunta. ¿El helado es una comida caliente o fría?
Okay, so she's asking, is the ice cream a food that's, I think she said ice cream. Anyway, you know, is it hot or is it cold?
Fría.
Cold.
Fría, muy fría, ¿sí?
Very cold.
Es una comida
Yes.
muy fría.
Yes, it's a very
¿Qué
cold.
pasa cuando comemos algo muy frío?
And what happens when you eat something that's very cold?
¿Qué efecto provoca en nuestro cuerpo, en diferentes partes de nuestro cuerpo?
Okay, so what effect does it have in different parts of your body, basically?
Bueno, hay dos cosas.
Okay, so there's two things.
Cuando nos duelen los dientes,
Okay, so, you know, and it hurts the teeth.
¿no? La sensibilidad
The
de los
sensitivity
dientes.
of the teeth.
O cuando la cabeza nos duele mucho,
Or when your head hurts a lot.
como que se nos congela muy, muy fría la cabeza.
And I don't know what congela means, okay? But she's saying, you know, makes your head very, very cold. I guess she's talking about a brain freeze.
Esos son los dos problemas o los dos efectos que tiene la comida muy fría.
Okay, so those are the two effects that you have when you eat something that's very cold. Okay, so I think that one's pretty good. Obviously, there's a few words in there I don't know, but, you know, I can get the basic context. Let's go to here. Let's pick something else. Okay. Austria, Jewel. Yeah, let's go with this one. Jump to the middle.
Cosa muy loca
Okay, something that's very crazy.
es que ese mismo año, en 1765,
Oh, so hard to do years. Okay, so it's in the same year. It's like 19... Okay, I'm going to listen to that one again just to see if I can get the year. I know it's 19 something.
otra cosa muy loca es que ese mismo año, en 1760,
700? No, it's not 19. It's 17. 76.
tan solo 2 semanas después de la boda, el esposo de María Teresa, el emperador,
Well, okay, so I kind of get what's going on here, but I can't directly translate this. So it's like, it was... I would have to listen to it again.
año, en 1765, tan solo 2 semanas después de la boda,
Okay, so it's 2 weeks after
el esposo de María Teresa,
the wife of... or the husband of Marietta,
el emperador,
the emperor.
murió.
died.
Y también agregaron una decoración,
And arigadon, I think is like to like collect. No, it's not collect. I'm not sure.
un motivo para conmemorar su muerte.
Okay, to remember the death of the person.
De este lado del arco se conmemora la boda, el casamiento
Okay, so they're talking about the ark, and it's basically to memorialize the death of this person.
y del otro lado la muerte del emperador.
And on the other side, okay, so it's got 2 points, and one's to memorialize. Okay, so I kind of get the general gist of what's going on here, but I cannot translate this word for word.
Acabamos de entrar a una iglesia que está acá en la calle María Teresa.
Okay, so she's inside a church, which is here in the, I don't know what kasher means. And then she just gave the name for it.
Y esta es la primera iglesia de la Orden de los Servitas,
Okay, so this is the first church of the order of the, I guess, the service people, maybe?
que llegó acá a Innsbruck gracias a una mujer
Okay, that came to this place, the name of it, due to a woman.
que la trajo en 1614.
1600. Okay, so 1600. Why is these numbers messing with me? It's like 1640 or 14. This is the thing. Numbers mess with me a lot. If they're anything above 20, they mess with me a lot still. 14. Yeah, it must be 40. Okay, anyway, that, as you can see, that was a bit more of a struggle. Let's go try upper level. It could also just be the content, because I don't really watch much historical stuff. Okay, jobs we romanticize but actually suck. Let's watch a bit more of that, but we'll jump to somewhere further ahead.
Un montón de cosas negativas que uno no
Okay, a lot of different negative things,
las piensa, pero que están.
but they are.
Otra profesión también solitaria
Another profession, however, solitaria, I don't know what that is
es el ser escritor
is to be a writer.
o escritora.
Sí.
Okay, so a writer, male or female.
Pienso que primero los bloqueos creativos
Okay, so due to like creative blocks.
Sí.
Ay, no, yo siento que tienes mucha presión, aunque en la vida real no sé.
Okay, I'd have to hear that again.
No, yo siento que tienes mucha presión,
So it has a lot of something. Presión, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's pressure.
aunque en la vida real no sé cómo es, pero
So, like in real life, she's saying, I don't know what it is.
según las películas,
Something about movies.
tú trabajas para una, ¿cómo se dice? Como una
So you work for, and then she's like, how do you say?
Editorial.
imprenta.
I didn't hear.
¿Cómo?
Una editorial, una imprenta.
Ajá, una editorial y
Oh, yeah, so you work for an editor.
te dicen, mira, ahora tienes que sacar el siguiente capítulo
Okay, so you need to, get out or to release, I guess, the next chapter.
y es como que, ¿de dónde me lo saco? ¿De dónde
Claro.
me lo saco?
And she's saying, where is my sako? I don't know what sako is. Okay, maybe inspiration? No idea.
Lo he visto.
Okay, we'll see.
Y que parece también que es un trabajo muy solitario.
Okay, so she's saying she thinks it's a work that's very lonely. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, so I had a suspicion that solitario or whatever was like lonely before, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't going to make that assumption without being too sure.
Ujú. Sí, me lo imagino difícil, la verdad,
So she imagines it would be quite difficult, really.
porque todo lo que es creativo y artístico también
Sí.
I've actually just saw down the bottom here, there is what is your Spanish level, and I can actually see the CEFR ratings there. Let's try that out.
How good is your Spanish?
Of course,
In
there's
this
music.
video, you're about to watch 4 videos in Spanish.
Okay.
Haces. Voy a hacer un pastel.
Yeah, okay, so she's gonna make a cake. Okay, let's go. That's beyond super beginner.
Let's make it a bit more challenging.
Beginner.
Este es mi bolso.
Okay, so that's my bag.
Yo tengo algo en mi bolso.
So she has something in her bag.
¿Puedes adivinar
Can you guess
qué es?
what it is?
Esto
Okay, cool. Yep, beginner. Okay, let's get to... Okay, I noticed in the thumbnail they had the ratings, the CEFR ratings, but they don't have them here. Intermediate.
Conocer. 1. Purmamarca. Purmamarca es un pueblito.
Okay, so she's saying places to know. Purmamarca is some small town.
Es un pequeño pueblo que está en la provincia de Jujuy.
Okay, so it's a small... I think she actually said town again, but in this province of Jujuy.
En el norte de Argentina.
Okay, so it's in the north of Argentina.
Este es un lugar realmente mágico.
Okay, so this is a place that's realistically quite magical.
Es un pueblo con casas de barro.
Okay, so it's got houses of various types. Okay, let's jump ahead, see if we can get anything else. We'll jump to this point.
Hacer eso y mucho más.
To do this and a lot more.
Hay un montón de actividades para disfrutar
Okay, so there's a lot of things you can do to have fun
de este paisaje tan especial.
that are, you know, very special.
Incluso podés dar un paseo, podés caminar encima de los glaciares.
So she's saying something about taking, and I think she said like a passage, but I'm going to listen to that bit again.
Paseo, podés caminar encima de los glaciares.
You can change and simulate. There's something about the glaciers here and something to do with change. I'm not too sure.
Y terminar el recorrido con un vaso de whisky on the rocks.
Okay, and you can finish off with a whiskey on the rocks.
Y no te va a faltar el hielo. 3.
Okay, and don't forget the ice. Okay, let's jump ahead. I feel like this is actually, what they're showing is the intermediate, would be the lower end intermediate videos. Okay, let's look at the advanced.
One level left now. Let's see if you can understand it.
La Ciudad de México es famosa por muchas cosas.
Okay, so the city of Mexico is famous for many things.
El Palacio de Bellas Artes,
Okay, so the plaza is like, you know, like the plaza.
el Bosque de Chapultepec o la Casa Azul de Frida Kahlo.
And she's listing off places, okay? So she's saying the house of food, blah, blah, whatever it is.
Pero hoy voy a contarte 3 cosas que seguramente no sabías de la capital de mi país.
Okay, so she wants to talk about 3 things that I guess she's saying you probably wouldn't know about my place.
Número 1. La
Number
Ciudad de México se está hundiendo.
Okay, what was that again?
Número 1. La Ciudad de México se está hundiendo. Se
I don't know what hundiendo means. She's saying the city of Mexico is whatever that is.
hunde. Algunas partes de la ciudad se hunden hasta 40 centímetros al año.
Okay, so she's saying there's different parts of the city that suffer from, and I think she's talking about flooding.
Esto sucede porque la ciudad fue construida sobre el lago,
Okay, so she's saying that's because the city was built above a lake.
el lago de Texcoco.
In the lake of Tecoshco.
Por este motivo, calles, construcciones de la ciudad van poco a poco hundiéndose.
Okay, so I guess she's saying for that motive or that reason, that's why they're going, parts of the city are going bit by bit are starting to sink. I guess that means sink.
Número 2. La Ciudad de México tiene el único castillo real de América.
Okay, so she's saying that the city of Mexico has the only real castle of America. Okay, so I think we've got a pretty good idea so far. I think I've covered off on everything I wanted to see. Let me just double check my notes. Oh yes, so this was another thing. There was a bit of a debate about this one in the comments section. Now, some people are saying, Evildea, you're probably doing too much time per day and your brain's getting fried and therefore you're not absorbing as much and therefore the hours that you're putting into this challenge are of less quality. While other people are actually saying, you know, you get more value by doing more hours and inundating your brain with more content and therefore it can basically pick up on more patterns. And realistically, I think for this type of method, you just need to flood your brain. Like if this is the method that you're going with, you need to actually flood your brain because if you do a little bit per day, you're actually not going to notice the patterns as much as if you do a lot in one day, because then you'll start to notice certain patterns within that very, very long session. And it's actually not that tiring to go for many hours doing it. It can just get boring sometimes. It's not like your brain, it's not very taxing to the brain. It's not like, what would be called like extensive reading, where you just read and you process everything that you read, and as there's like words you might not know and you jump over them, but your brain actively tries to figure them out. With the ALG style method, you pretty much don't focus in on anything, and it's just like some things start to pop towards the forefront of your brain. So I don't think there is a correct answer around this, except for the fact that if you're doing less than an hour per day, I don't think this method would be at all effective. You'd actually have to do more. Anything less than that, you're probably not giving your brain enough content to try and work with. Okay, so I think I've covered off on everything so far. I don't think I've made real progress during this last 50 hours, but you know, it is what it is. It's a 50-hour update. The only progress I seem to have made is I've improved my sleep, I think. No, not really. Okay, if you got any questions, drop them down in the comment section, and I'll give you guys all an update in the next 50 hours. And make sure you sub to the goddamn channel. I'm doing this shit for you guys. See you all in the next video.